Hello, this is Truman, and we continue our lessons in personal evangelism. We're going to have a second illustration from Ephesians 6:12, that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against powers, principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age. And we've amplified that when we share the gospel is the power of God to salvation. The Holy Spirit is there to work and confirm. But also, Satan many times will oppose when we sow the seed. Then cometh the wicked one. So in your personal witness, you begin to discover that there is a spiritual dynamic. Over many times as a young man, as I began to share Jesus, and I would have someone, as we read the 4 spiritual laws, and they began to understand, and they came to the point of wanting to pray and receive Christ, the phone would ring. And there was an interruption. They'd go answer the phone. I would see this happen over and over again. I've already told you about the lady in our neighborhood here in Boca that I was witnessing to, and she got to the point of praying to receive Christ, and 3 times she was interrupted. Well, in like manner, be conscious that when you share Jesus, that there is a spiritual dynamic taking place. So in your heart and mind, be binding the strong man, bind the enemy, because Satan does not want that one to respond to Jesus. I told you about the couple that I met in Portland, and the wife said to me, "Don't ever come by here and talk to my husband. He hates preachers, especially Baptist preachers." Well, soon Cork was saved. And so they invited me into their home, and I was there to witness to Sue. Now Sue, the wife, had claimed to be a Christian, but she wasn't. She was a Baptist, but she'd never truly been born again. And so we were sitting on the sofa, and it was time now to share the gospel clearly of grace to Sue. So Cork and I and Sue were talking. And as Sue began to understand, well, I've never really been saved. I'm lost. I need Jesus. It looked like there was all sorts of interruptions. They had a couple pets. One was a monkey, and the monkey seemed to go berserk. And so there was a lot of interruptions. And finally, as we were sitting there on the sofa and sharing the 4 spiritual laws, and she's about to pray to receive Christ, all of a sudden the cat jumps onto the sofa, on the back of the sofa, and then jumps down next to me between her and I, and he just has this big dump. Unbelievable. And she apologized and had to clean up this awful smelly mess, and there was this great interruption. And yet I knew that because I'd seen it happen so many times before, that I needed to be persistent and needed to wait till things calmed down. And I was praying in my heart, Lord, don't let this rob the moment of Sue giving her heart to Jesus. Well, after everything was cleaned up and things calmed down, and we were aware of the spiritual battle, she gave her heart to Jesus. And I've already mentioned to you that those it seems that God will use to make an impact on the world will have great opposition when you share Jesus with them. Well, both Cork and Sue would win many to Christ, and Cork would become a pastor, and he would be used of God wonderfully. So in your witness, be conscious that there's opposition. Don't give up. Keep praying. Keep believing God. Thank you.